Hello everybody, Corey here. We're going to go over the daily roundup for the single stock ETFs. Just a reminder, I'm not a qualified licensed investment or financial advisor. I'm just here to gather the data and present it to you so you can make your own decisions and form your own opinions. YieldMax ETFs are extremely risky. These risks are defined on the YieldMax website. These ETFs are also income ETFs, not growth ETFs. Please ensure that you know what you're investing in before doing so. All right, so let's get straight into it here. We have some trades here. Haven't looked too in-depth in it, but you can see here for Coney, they ended up closing out the synthetic positions or rolling them. It costs $95 million to do so. I don't know if that's what happened with Nephilim too, but it cost $1.93 million to close out synthetics there. And then I'm looking at NVIDIA. I don't remember. I don't know. Let's look at that one because that one seems fishy. I don't think I pasted stuff before. I didn't even copy and paste values for that matter. All right. So let's just check just to make sure where that trade is. So that's NVIDIA. So I got to go back and paste values on these things. Okay, let's go back because now I'm wondering, did it pick up? I don't forgot what those numbers were, but let's just make sure that it was right. Okay, so it does show that the net so the sum of those two is the -3 something, or almost -4. But then the premium is the total premium for the new one received. So yeah, I guess it is right. All right. I like to double check. I hate for anything to be wrong there. But here's all the trades for the day. Let's move on. So here's all the, just a reminder, I'm going to go through some of these areas pretty quickly. You'll just pause or do a screenshot if you want to continue looking at them, but I will not read through all the numbers. You can see all the net assets here and all the outstanding shares if you want to see those. And these are all of the YieldMax ETFs. So you have the single stock, and then you have YBIT. The only reason it's right there with those is because it's going to be it's in the same schedule. At least right now it's showing as the same schedule for distributions. And then the bottom is showing different schedule for distributions for the fund of funds and the ultra. Anyway, so the next section is going to be the close price today along with the NAV data and the difference if you want to see that. And then we're going to move on. And then this right here is and we can actually zoom in. You can't see the bottom when I do that. All right. So we had a pretty green day today. However, it looks like 4 of these did close down. So AMC was down 7 cents. Disney was down 28 cents. Nephilim was down 1 cent. And Tesla was down 8 cents. Everybody else is up. And let's see, Coney was up 5% because Bitcoin was going today. And then AMDY and Misty were up 3%. And then we had Phoebe and NVIDIA up 2%. And everybody and then the rest of them were 0 to 1. Except for the bottom. So I did not adjust these for the distributions at the bottom. I know on the Ulti one I did adjust it. and it actually ended up being positive 1%. YieldMax distribution was about 73 cents. So this one would be positive as well if we added that back or subtracted it from yesterday. And then YMAG would also be up. Their distribution, I think, was 64 cents. So these would be up if we either added or if we took away the dividend amount for yesterday's close. So then we have the underline here. We have their IV, their close yesterday and the close today, and then the changes here. So we had, it looks like 6 of these were negative. Amazon, -1. Disney, -2. Netflix was negative, but it was less than 0.5%. PayPal was -1%. Tesla, -2%. So I said 6, it's actually 5. So actually, then this I should delete because we don't need to list Tesla twice. And sometimes I'll edit it, but it'll be on my dated copy and not on my main copy. So, and man, I didn't copy and paste the values for that stuff, and Google formulas don't like to work late at night or early in the morning for some reason. So now everything is saying loading. So that's freaking awesome. There we go. Let's see. Of course, over here. That also means I'm going to have to update stuff over here because I updated it, but apparently I updated this data along with all of this data on the other ones. So you'll see what I mean, because come on. Okay, I'll just do that, so I'll see them tomorrow because I'll need to fix them. All right. So we're here on the underline with the IV yesterday and current. And then, of course, we just went over the percentages. We at least went over the ones that were down. As far as who was up, Coney was up. Oh, hold on. MicroStrategy was up 16%. Coney was up 8%. And then AMD and NVIDIA were up 4%. Now, we just look at the differences between the underlying and the YieldMax ETFs. Well, PayPay was positive 1% and PayPal was negative 1%. So that's something different. As far as if one was negative, the other was negative, and same goes for positive with the exception of PayPal and PayPay. The biggest differences, of course, are going to be MicroStrategy. Misty only went up 3% because it hit its the strike price, and then MicroStrategy went up 16%, so that's a difference of 13%. And then Coney went up 5%, with Coin being up 8%, but overall it ended up being a rounded negative 4%. We have some 2s, AMD 2%, and NVIDIA 2%. Everything else is 0 or 1. Of course, besides we already talked about PayPal there. All right, let's move on to the days to recovery. So, as you can see, we had stocks recover today because the market went crazy. So today would have been the 8th trading day since ex-dividend. So we can see AMD recovered almost double. And so let me just go over this once again. Sometimes I forget, but in case there's anybody new on this one, the stock price was at $16.80 on May 3rd, which was declaration date and the day before ex-dividend date. Today we're at $17.23, so the difference is we are up 43 cents. And if you didn't know, on the ex-dividend date, the stock drops by the previous distribution amount. So the last dividend, in this case of AMDY, was 51 cents. And so, if it was $16.80 on Friday, May 3rd, when it dropped by the dividend, it would have been $16 and 29 cents. And so since then, it's come up to $17.23. And then anyway, so you see the difference column is the difference between those two, the last dividend we just talked about. And then the next one is the plus or minus since the last dividend. And then of course we have the recovery percentage to the last dividend. And then column AG and AH, those are typed. That's just the number of days it took to recover, number of trading days. And then the rankings is just, it doesn't really matter, but all of these are ranked 2 because they all recovered today. Same thing with the other ones that are marked 1. Those 2 recovered on the same day. So what that 184% is saying is that it recovered 100% of the dividend of 51 cents plus an additional 43 cents, making it 184% of the last dividend. So that's how you read that. And of course, Dizzo is like negative 200 and something percent. So it's lost its dividend times 2 plus, or times 2.13. But anyway, yeah, so, and then the bottom, that's reset now because today was the ex-dividend date for YieldMax, and Ulti. So that data's down there is reset, but because we had such a green day, you can see we've already actually started to recover on these. And the other thing I just realized I didn't mention is that out of the 19 ETFs, long ETFs, 6 of the YieldMax did better than 19 of the underlying. So anyway, at this time we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ETFs that have recovered from their dividend as of today anyway. And then I don't know how this is messed up. Google Finance can't find, because I should have copied and pasted this stuff so there weren't formulas in here anymore. But anyway, this section is showing the max strike price of the short calls. So here where it says max, that means those are over the strike price. So AIYY is capped for the short call, and Aptly, and GUI, Misty, and OARC. And then if we take this and we just sort it by who's close, after that we have those within 0%, or 0% is JPMO, AMDY, NVD, and MSFO. And then 1% Tesla, Phoebe, Murney, 2% Coney, 3% PayPay, and Squee, Dizzo 4, and AMZ 5%. And that just means, if you don't already know, that those percentages there is the amount, is where the strike price, where the stock price is, up underneath the strike price for the green. Of course, the ones in red, those are over the strike price, which is why they've maxed out any benefits there. Now, then you can see in column AN, this is how it affects the share price. This stock, or these strike prices in this case, these shorts affect the strike. Stock price. Too many S's. So Misty is down $5.29, or 16.6%, due to the synthetic market value for these positions. I said synthetic, and I did not mean to. The short calls. And that's how you would read all of these here. So if we go to the next section, these are the synthetics. So we can see for the synthetics, we want to be above the strike price. And so let's sort this. All right. So we can see that Square, Dizzo, PayPay, Tesla, Neply, and Coney are all below their strike prices for this synthetic positions. Now, Coney, they just closed out today, spent 95 million to close out the synthetics. So that 220 is brand new. And then Squeeze expires this week. I don't remember about the rest of these, honestly. But same thing, so $80 strike price. They're under, the stock price is under the strike price by $8.49 or 11%. And then we have the first synthetic and then the second synthetic here for those that had two. And then this is how they affect the share price. That's not what I want. Let's do percentages. Okay, so we look at the percentages here. So Squee is down $2.52 due to the synthetic position. And then Tesla's down 2% and Dizzo 1.5%. And then I'm not sure about the color codes on the bottom. I think I had it red. I thought I fixed stuff a while ago, but apparently I didn't. And some of that stuff's wrong. I don't even know how it got that price in there. So that's actually wrong, even though all I did before was just copy those. So, you know what? Now I know. I had these red, even though I didn't know that these were wrong. But then I couldn't remember why. And the reason I had these red, because I can't turn these other reds because they're conditional formats. So put the reds back on there. All right. Okay. So that's the end of the roundup, the daily roundup. And then here's also the S&P and NASDAQ. I forgot to show that. So they were, sorry. I was trying to get a hair off my iPad. The market was up today, so as expected, most of the underlying did better than the YieldMax ETF. So 6 and 13 there. Anyway, I will let y'all go, and then I'll do my last video tonight for anybody that wants to see the actual trades and holdings. That will be in the next video released. I'll do it and record it. I just don't know if it'll get uploaded before I go to bed or not. So it may not show up until the morning. But anyway, I hope y'all had a great green day. And thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll talk with you later. Bye.